Nicholas, thank you so much for joining us. Just to start off with, what do you make of events like the Geneva Wealth Tech Forum, and why do you think they're so important?
If you take into consideration how much private wealth Geneva in Switzerland is managing and the core business of Invesco as well, so it makes sense for us to talk about what we do from an innovation point of view and just to make sure we can communicate actually how we are preparing the company to be ready with the technology changes.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned technology there. What sort of new technology are you guys looking at, and what's a new thing that everyone you think should be focusing on?
Well, you have all the obvious from AI, quantum computing, and but today we are more talking about what we are trying to test and trial within the blockchain and DLT area, and we are more or less focusing on how we are trialing to tokenize real estate products or fund and so on. And of course, we do broader than this because the core activity of the innovation team at Invesco is to focus on really increasing the way we manage alpha. And so it's not only on blockchain, but blockchain is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the blockchain there. I'm sure there's several banks here at this conference as well. How do you think sort of more traditional banks are adapting to this development using the blockchain tokenization, things like that?
Well, it's hard to adapt at this stage because it's a very emerging technology. There is so much news and buzz about it. So it's about what is really happening concretely. So, but for sure, in order to make sure that we are ready when the technology we have the level of maturity which is good enough, and when the regulatory framework will be ready also to move on, we need to anticipate this. So we are more or less really trying to implement a proof of concept we trial internally for employees and so on to make sure we are up to speed whenever the market will be ready to move on with this. Now, the move into production of a blockchain solution is still unknown how it's going to really happen.
Many people I've spoken to have called 2019 in terms of the blockchain the year of adoption. What do you make of this statement? Do you think this year we will really see mass adoption?
It's funny because every year we say this, and I think it's a little bit of a media thing because you need to own the subject. So I think that there is a lot of groundwork happening in all the different blockchains. The technology is bringing more and more maturity. Now that's a fact. Is 2019 the year when the adoption will happen? I don't know. I personally do not think so. However, it doesn't mean we don't need to prepare because when the adoption will be ready, it's most likely to go fast. So it's better to be sure we are up to speed.
Mm-hmm. How do you guys sort of, have you changed the way you work with like a newer, younger generation of people coming in? Is there a different way that you're interacting with them, and what is like the main change?
Yeah, I'm mentioning in the panel later on a little bit this, and I'm describing the mindset. How can you actually deal with the speed of change happening today? How can you attract talent with the right mindset to bring this change internally? Because we face something when actually the speed of change is increasing, but of course the current business, which is actually bringing revenues, has to be managed well as well. So how can you actually deal with these two different mindsets and making sure they talk together? And this is exactly what we are trying to develop internally. We have a team which is highly diversified. I personally don't come from finance. I come really from tech, and this is what more or less I'm presenting. What I'm presenting today is more or less what we do with blockchain, but more importantly, even is the mindset we want to bring within the company to make sure that the brand is embracing new opportunities and also making sure the brand is ready to face the change coming.
Amazing, Nicholas. Thank you so much.